And welcome back to the Men's Report, weekly studs and duds, hosted by yours truly, Menace.
Stop it. I got it. United. Get the hell on, go play somewhere and stop
Fuck
it.
up my face.
So stop it.
Stop
You know
it.
United. Stop it. I got it. United. So get the hell on, go play somewhere and stop
Fuck
it.
up my face.
Now stop it.
Oh, I know how what I know. You know I'm lying like a song.
I'm not gonna be here for long.
Good morning, people. Wake up.
Push these niggas off me like,
Huh.
push these bitches off me like,
Huh.
push these niggas off me like,
Huh.
push my snakes, I'm
Get
pushing
my
my
coffee.
face, I'm pushing no more off me like,
Huh.
push no more off me like,
Huh.
yeah. I need a bill with this shit.
Uh-huh.
Sucking the bill with shit.
Good morning, world. I'm waking up.
Now you a joke, my ass is a close, I holla
It's
at
coming.
the shit. Know the results, the ballot is in, and nobody boom again. You funny, dog. I'll be on
Your money, dog. It's coming, folks.
So I meditate on running lost. Swerve, shake the currents off. Yeah. Push these niggas on me.
And welcome back to another episode of the Men's Report, weekly fantasy studs and duds. Huh. Ah, that Kendrick. Stressed out. I'm stressed out. Woo. Come on. Yeah. Stressed out. Come on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And yes, another show. And I know you might be like, dang, y'all just did a show Friday night. Yes, we did. I had a great time. Guests was popping. They had the energy. We went in. It was a good show. This is my solo show. Believe it or not, this helps me prepare for the draft. By me doing this research and just coming over stuff, it's helping me prepare for the draft. Instead of sitting there doing 100 mock drafts, by doing this show and researching, it's helping me. And it's helping me build my draft strategy. So, this is episode 5 of the weekly Fantasy Studs and Duds show. And today, we're going to do high risk, high reward. Okay? Last week we did You Are Now the Target. This week is high risk, high reward. Now, hopefully, if everything goes smooth for the rest of the week, I'll have another show by Friday, another solo show. I'm just going to keep on pumping out the content, keeping you guys engaged, keeping you entertained, and try to build a better brand, the Men's Report. This is almost like practice. Now, here we go. 3 individuals I feel they're high risk, high reward players. You might agree, you might not agree. You might disagree. Who cares? If you agree or disagree, you can leave a comment in the comment area, or you can just be quiet. It don't bother me, no. Here we go. First player, Michael Thomas, wide receiver, New Orleans Saints. I feel this young man is a high risk, high reward player. We all know he hasn't played in almost 2 years. Basically, the whole last year he took off with the ankle injury. That was a whole clusterfuck from the jump. Currently, Mike is ranked outside the top 30 fantasy wide receivers. I think he's number 33 on Fantasy Pros right now. So he's ranked outside the top 30. That's like wide receiver 3 territory. Okay, his average His ADP, average draft position, is about the 6th round. Now, I know he's no longer with Drew Brees, and this might be one of the main reasons why he's a high risk, okay? But when somebody says but, something else is coming. If you did some research, the 10 games he played without Drew Brees under center, he actually scored more points per game. It was only 2 points, but it was more points. With those 10 games where Drew Brees wasn't under helm, he was getting 18.7 fantasy points per game. And guess who the quarterback was? A tight end. Taysom Hill. Yeah, he playing tight end this year. Taysom Hill was under center. And Mike was still getting 18.7 fantasy points per game. Okay? Also, we all know Jameis Winston is going to win the job again. He's an upgrade over Taysom Hill. He can stretch the field, go downfield, and we're going to see a little bit more from can't guard Mike than just a whole bunch of slants. Those slants was helping out Drew Brees because Drew Brees had a noodle arm. So we're going to see something different. Lastly, the Saints brought in Jarvis Landry. He's going to work them tough under the middle routes. And the young boy, Chris Olave. Okay? Who are you doubling? You go ahead and just double Mike the whole game. Landry and Olave are going to eat. They're going to have to pick and choose who they double. Now, I know this man hasn't played. He is risky. But if he comes back and he gives you high wide receiver 2 numbers in return where you draft them in the 6th round or in the 5th round, that's high reward. That's lovely. All right. Before I go into the next section, I'm going to give an honorable mention. D-Hop. I feel D-Hop is a high risk, high reward. We know he's suspended for 6 games. When he comes back, there's no guarantee, especially if the cards are rolling and Kyler Murray is actually watching film and studying, and him and Hollywood link up, and Rondell Moore link, and they're flowing with Zach Ertz. D-Hop might come back and get nothing. But if D-Hop comes back and he did how he did start last year, he wasn't getting a lot of receptions. He was scoring touchdowns, and fantasy touchdowns are gold. So he's a high risk, high reward. Where you take him, and if you're patient and you can hold on D-Hop and he comes back and he starts clicking, boy, it's D-Hop. All right, we're going to move. Now, this next young man, you're probably going to be scratching your head like, what the hell is school talking about high risk, high reward? This man's not no high risk, high reward. Next individual I'm talking about is Justin Herbert, quarterback, Los Angeles Chargers. School, like, you bugging. I know people like this man bugging. Now, given his age and this young man's talent, he is a borderline top 5 valuable player across any professional sport. Top 5, any sport. Baseball, football, soccer, hockey, all the big. That's how valuable this young man is. Borderline top 5. He's surrounded by a bunch of offensive weapons. Eckler, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. He's got the weaponry. Now, you might be like, okay, I just gave you some pros. Like, so why do you feel this man's a risk? Right now, this man is usually the 3rd quarterback drafted in fantasy drafts after Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes. I might even take this man over Pat Mahomes. But usually his ADP is in the 3rd round. Now, that's where the risk is coming about. Now, I'm not saying this man is a blade. This young man can ball. But the 3rd round, if you know me, I usually wait on my quarterback. I got lucky last year because 2 years ago I drafted Josh Allen in the 9th round. So that's why I got to keep him in the 9th round last year. He's a beast. I usually go late round quarterback. Okay? 3rd round, that's expensive. If he doesn't come back and pan out, that's a big time risk in the 3rd round. You passing up top wide receivers, you passing up tight running backs, top end running backs. Now, the reason why I think it's a risk, Justin Herbert, the rushing stats simply are not there. There's people I can draft much later that provide those rushing stats that I feel that can hang with him fantasy-wise, okay? Talk about fantasy-wise. You got Lamar Jackson. You probably can get Lamar in the 5th round, 6th round if you're lucky. You got Kyler Murray, probably gonna go in the 6th round. You got Trey Lance from San Fran. He's gonna go much later, probably 7th or 8th round. And that young man is gonna ball out this year. He's got that rushing. So this is why I think this is a risk of taking Justin Herbert in the 3rd round. Is it gonna pay off? Also, Joe Lombardi is his offensive coordinator. This man is scared to stretch field. When you got Justin Herbert and Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, you should let this man stretch the field, whatever. But the offensive coordinator kind of holding him back. You got to dig a little bit deeper. He holds him back. He has an unwillingness of just going down the field all the time, and that's crazy. Now, I personally feel that it's going to be tough to get in the return that 3rd round, that value, 3rd round value. So this is why I think he's risk. But if he does, if you draft this man and he pays off, it's a high risk, high reward because you know he's a baller. Honorable mention here for quarterbacks is Deshaun Watson. Verdict came down right now. If it stays the same, it's 6-game suspension. Okay? He comes back, you give him maybe that 1 game, knock the rust off. If you're in the position where you can draft this man, just hold on, he can be valuable down the stretch. We all know Deshaun Watson is an elite talent. He is an elite talent. Okay? That season, D-Hop, that first season, I think D-Hop wasn't with them. He led the league in passing yards, and I can't remember who the other wide receivers were, but D. Watson led the league in passing yards. He is an elite talent. So that's my honorable mention. All right, the last one. We're going to running back. High risk, high reward. I'm going to go with the king, Derrick Henry, running back, Tennessee. Now, we all know King Henry, when he's healthy, this man is a beast. You know you're guaranteed 10 plus TDs. Guaranteed. He plays for Tennessee. That is a run-heavy offense. Now, A.J. Brown has been traded, sent away. King Henry definitely is the focal point of that offense. Dump off little screens. He is the focal point. Now, his average or his ADP is the 1.3 or 1.03, the 3rd person drafted. Now, you might be like, Scoop, you keep on getting on these pros. This is why I feel this man is a risk. On the average, NFL running backs start to decline at the age of 28. Derrick Henry, 28 years old. Okay? Tennessee's offensive line. So you got to start digging a little bit deeper, not just skimming over the top. They lost their starting guard and they lost their starting tackle. So that offensive line, it took a little bump downwards, not upwards. They're not training upwards. They're training this way, downwards. It takes time, just like any unit put together. It takes time for them to gel. The offensive line, that definitely takes time to gel. It's not going to be a little real quick. Fix it. It's going to take time to gel. So the offensive line is banged up. It's probably rated the bottom of 3rd in the league right now. Now, said this man is 28. D. Henry has a lot of carries in the bank. A lot of handoffs right now. That wear and tear is starting to show, folks. He hurt his foot last year and they rushed him back, and you see that he wasn't right. I'm not saying he's hurt right now, but it's wear and tear on the king. But if he comes back and he balls out, you know that's King Henry. So this is why I got him in this high risk, high reward. Now, the honorable mention here, everybody knows what it is, CMC. He's only 26. 2 straight years of deep tissue injury. There's a chance he might re-aggravate that hamstring injury because they really don't go away in quad injuries. That's a deep tissue injury. But we all know when this man is healthy, nobody compares to him with the numbers he puts up. He is the offense in Carolina. So this is why I'm going to honorable mention CMC. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me end this correctly. Just a quick show. Like I said, I got to keep the